Now you can also add lists together or concatenate lists in the same way that we did with strings. For example, here you've got 3 lists. You've got a list containing DNA sequences, and you've got a list containing floats and integers, and you've got a list containing booleans. You could add all of those lists together. I stored it in a new name called mixed list, and you will see that it just added all of those values together effortlessly. Whereas when you do that with strings, for example, or with integers, remember when you're working with string manipulation, you couldn't combine all of it together unless you change them so that they're all exactly the same data type. With lists, it doesn't care. It allows you to add everything. So it's very cosmopolitan. Now, I just want to show this part to you because this might, again, you need to understand exactly what is happening when you use the .append. So now I've created a new list. So let's say I've got now the participants' IDs, and I've stored them in a list called IDs, and these are their IDs. I now want to say a mixed list.append IDs, but in your mind, you may think I'm going to add each one of these elements to this list. And it's just going to add it in the same way that this happened, but it's not going to do that, okay? If you can see this here, it added this as one item. And again, because .append takes one argument, so when you enter something in, when you try to add something to the list using .append, it takes one argument and it sees it as one item, and it adds that as one item to the list. So this is not what you wanted. You wanted them to be added in the same way that you did here. Now, you could have done the same thing that you did here. You could have just said over here plus IDs, but obviously not here, but over here, because you would have to create this list first. So that's one way to do it. But I'll get to another way that you can do it afterwards. But again, this shows you again that this is mutable because you can add even a list to this list, okay? But this is part of what mutability means.